Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this mysterious planet called Earth, I hope you are having an engaging day, evening, or night. I'm going to be talking about one of Marvel Comics' most iconic gods with a little g, not the big G, gods with a little g, but he's still a powerhouse. I'm going to be talking about the father of Thor, Odin. How does the MCU version of Odin stack up to the Marvel Comics version of Odin? And I have a right to talk about Thor or any other comic book character because here's why. I heavily started reading comic books in the 1980s, and Thor was one of the books that I collected. I go so far back with Thor that he's changed now. But originally, when Thor first came out, he was a human being now named Donald Blake. He was a doctor, as the Thor movies alluded to, Dr. Donald Blake. Dr. Donald Blake, he was somewhat crippled. He had to walk with the cane. But the cane was Mjolnir in disguise. When Dr. Blake tapped that cane on any hard surface, he was transformed into the lion, the pride of Asgard, Thor. Also, I got that book when Beta Ray Bill was introduced. I had the comic books when Beta Ray Bill beat Thor. Not once, but twice. So Beta Ray Bill, he truly beat Thor. I think when he first beat Thor, that was long ago, I think he changed back to Donald Blake. And that's how he beat Thor up, because he grabbed that hammer. Yeah, the hammer was a stick, and Beta Ray Bill smacked the hammer on something and changed to Thor. But the second time, Odin made a contest for him and Thor to see who was worthy of Mjolnir. And in the second contest, Beta Ray Bill knocked Thor out. So I go way back. But my discussion is on how does the MCU version of Odin stack up to the Marvel Comics Odin. Here we go. So, in my mind, at first, I thought the Marvel Comics version of Odin was weak and flimsy. That's what I thought. But I had to go back and think. Because there's a striking similarity between Odin in the comics and Odin in the movie theater. Since I was reading Thor for so long, I have an idea about Odin. And many times in the Thor comic books, Odin was not going around showing off his powers. He was not changing people to frogs or lizards. He was not firing laser beams. Most of those Thor issues, he's acting as a wise father. He's telling Thor, I wish you would spend more time with your people in Asgard and don't give all your time to Earth. He was a caring, loving father who gave wisdom to his son. He was ruler of Asgard and in the 9 realms. He was not in most Thor books going around wielding his Odin power. It was only unique cases when you saw him swinging his power around like a baseball bat. When he had to fight against Galactus. When he had to go against a Celestial. Basically, the only time you saw Odin letting loose of his powers is when he was fighting against another god-like figure or a cosmic level entity. But other than that, he was no different than Mary Jane Watson and Aunt May. He just was a supporting character to Thor. No difference. Here's another similarity between the two. Both of them required the Odin sleep. In the comic books, he had to sleep for a number of days, 30 days, 60 days, whoever. I don't know. In the movie version, he had to sleep for a number of unspecified days to regenerate their vast power. Odin fell into the Odin sleep to regulate the energies that he was welding. Both of them needed the Odin sleep. And then, when both of them fell into the Odin sleep, both of them was surrounded by a protective barrier. Many times I've seen a protective barrier in the comic books. And if you all saw, I believe it was Thor 2, you all saw his protective barrier there. And the thing about when he was in Odin sleep, he still had some awareness of his surrounding environment. He was not totally in a comatose state. He was aware, but he just was like immobile. Like, for instance, in a movie, you saw him shed a tear when something happened to his firstborn son, Thor. I don't know, is Thor the firstborn son or secondborn? But anyway, he shed a tear out his eye, but he didn't get up and start going around barking orders. So the Odin sleep was shared by both Odins, comic book and the movies, to regenerate their powers, to settle their mind, whatever. Now, I'm going to be talking about the Odin from the movies, how he had vast powers. It was only a couple minutes in the first Thor. The first Thor let you know his power levels. It was quick, in a snap of a finger, about 2 or 3 minutes. But this how. First, he called Thor unworthy. Then Thor yelled at his father. Yelled at him. Now you all know, if you was watching Thor in the movies, or even the comic books, he never yelled at a lesser creature. Even though Earth people may get on his nerve and piss him off, you never saw him yell at Captain America, Iron Man. He never got angry, super angry with the Hulk and all the destruction the Hulk caused. That shit got Thor angry, but he never got angry with lesser earthly creatures. So if Thor is getting angry with Odin, that lets you know right there he packs a heavy level of power if Thor going to try to go up against him. Then, when he was upset with Thor, he showed his power. He actually grabbed Thor's gauntlets off his chest, and Thor couldn't do nothing about it. He was completely helpless. And you know Thor, he's one of the strongest characters in the MCU universe. He fought against the Hulk. He fought against Iron Man. On and on and on. He's so powerful, the Thor and MCU, that he can take repeated strikes from the Hulk. You never see not one character taking repeated strikes from the Hulk and get up several seconds to talk about it. When Hulk was fighting Abomination, when he pounded an Abomination into oblivion, the Abomination was basically knocked out. He was knocked out. When the Rage Hulk struck Thor, he did knock Thor into that dreamlike state where he knocked him senseless, but he was not knocked out into a comatose state. And Thor basically stopped fighting the Hulk when the Hulk jumped on him. Thor is a warrior. Hulk is not no warrior. You know Thor got real warrior skills. You saw when he be fighting people. He let Hulk do that to him, if you didn't know that. But he's the only, that shows you his resilience. And when his father took them things, he could do nothing about it. And then they show you Odin's power level. When he stripped him of those gauntlets, he made basically all his armor vanish in a snap of a finger. Now we know clothing just don't vanish. Odin made his godly royal gauntlets disappear. Here's the next part to show you how powerful Odin is. He didn't have to say nothing. He didn't whisper a word. He somehow grabbed Thor. You didn't see no special energy blast come on his arm. He didn't shoot a laser beam. He took Thor and he threw Thor through that Bifrost portal. Thor did not walk in the Bifrost portal and said, "I'm going to Earth." Odin, and you know those portals take you to different realms. We saw it take us to the Frost Giant realm in Thor 1. So wherever you think about going to, or however you set it up, it take you there. Odin, he subconsciously told that portal, I'm banishing Thor to Midgard or Earth. But like I said, he somehow grabbed Thor with his power levels and flung him like a child through that portal. That show you his power level right there. Then the biggest thing that I can think of is when he grabbed Mjolnir. Most people, even though it wasn't enchanted at the time, even though the hammer was not enchanted at the time, I don't think many people can lift Mjolnir up. It didn't have no enchantment, but without even without that enchantment, he subconsciously yanked that hammer from Thor's hand and made it come to him. Now, who in that movie? I didn't see nobody in that movie do nothing like that. I saw nobody in any movie strip the hammer from Thor's hand and make the hammer enter his hand. So that took Odin's power level. That show his power. He took the hammer from Thor. He made the hammer come to him. That show you his power. He had no flashy bang of light, no flashy little waves going through the air. It was just pure mental power when he grabbed that hammer. Then the next thing, when he grabbed that hammer. Now in the comic books, the enchantment on that hammer, I think it probably was hundreds or maybe thousands of years old. In the movie, that enchantment was thrown on a hammer when Thor got sent to Midgard or Earth. All he did was whisper. He didn't shout out in a gigantic, godly-like voice. He just whispered, whoever is worthy, whether he be man or woman, whoever is worthy will wield the power of Thor. Then, just as easy as lifting up a brick or a stone, he took Mjolnir and threw it through that portal. And the thing about it, he knew where it was going to land. He didn't make it land on a hospital to kill everybody in the hospital. He didn't make it land on a school. He didn't make it land and strike a school bus. He knew with his power where he wanted that thing to land, in the obscure desert where no life forms are around. Here we go. Just from that simple whisper, whoever is worthy will have the power of Thor. Unlike most people or superheroes in the movies, their powers are temporal and immediate. Superman, he lift up a building. It's temporal. He don't lift the building forever. Iron Man shoot a repulsor blast. He shoot a repulsor blast that only lasts about 3 seconds. Thor call a lightning bolt. The lightning bolt comes from the sky and only lasts and hit the ground for about 3 seconds or so. But when Odin put that enchantment on that hammer, it was enduring. It was like forever. Forever. It did not. He made the enchantment in Asgard, but it did not care where that hammer went. That enchantment was on that hammer. Whether the hammer was in Asgard, Midgard, Earth, or in the 9 realms, that enchantment of whoever was worthy lasts. So that shows his power level. When he spoke, that was it. It will last as long as he wished, unless he revoke it. So his power level is enduring. It's not temporal, based on time. It can last a long time, years. So we see his power level. He yanked the artifacts from Thor. He threw that the Bifrost portal. He yanked Mjolnir from Thor's hand, and he put that enchantment on him. That show you right there. The Odin in the MCU is no different from the Odin in the Marvel comic universe. The Marvel comic universe Odin does not go around flaunting his powers. So far in the MCU, we have not seen no one a threat great enough to make Odin cut loose. We haven't seen no Mephisto, the devil, the demon. We haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen Galactus, a cosmic level entity. Even though Doctor Strange is powerful, he's still a mortal or human, as Guardians take it easy on humans. So the MCU universe, Odin has not had to cut loose of his power levels yet. Maybe he will in the future if they resurrect him. And also, Odin in the comic books, he died many times. That's like the Odin in the MCU universe. With the Odin Force, he can bring himself back to life if he chooses to. He just chooses to stay dead for now. So that's it, my good people, on the similarities between the Marvel Comics and the MCU Odin. They both are heavy level hitters. We've seen in that quick snapshot of Odin's MCU interaction with Thor, an entity who has bent, crushed Iron Man's armor. No one in the comic books has even dented Iron Man armor. No one. Iron Man 1, the entity who was fighting with, did not dent the armor. It may knock off the paint, but I haven't seen nobody dent that armor. Thor crushed the armor in his bare hands. Against his father, he was nothing. For all Thor's power, fighting the Hawk, fighting the Dark Elves, fighting against other strong people, against Odin, his power was meager. Thank you for stopping by. If you like my discussion about the MCU version of Odin and the Marvel Comics version of Odin, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments to make of your own, leave a comment. If you'd like to subscribe to hear about other comic characters, movie, or comic books, please subscribe. Until the next time, peace.